Now, this is part 3 of Naomi Judd, the incompleted scream. How to overcome negative behavior. Now, I always say the best one of the gifts you can give to yourself is a mirror. Look at that person in the mirror every day. Okay, and see if that person has negative behavior. Look at that person. The best gift you could ever give yourself is a mirror. Small, big, or large. Give yourself a mirror. Carry that with you everywhere to say, are you acting okay today? Are you acting appropriately today? Look at that person in the mirror. That person in the mirror is why you are poverty stricken. That person in the mirror is why you keep going from lousy man to lousy man. That person in the mirror, men, is why you keep abusing your wife and your children. That person in the mirror, man, is why you're not even a good husband or a good father, and the kids know it. And look, women, that person in the mirror is why you're a lousy mother, why you allow your 14-year-old to run the street and sell drugs. That person in the mirror. But see, we can dismantle all these negative selves. You see all these bad selves, and we can keep the good selves. If you don't want these bad selves in your life, you can dismantle them. For example, if you have a self that says steal, untrustworthy, you can look at that person in the mirror and say, today's self, I would not steal anything. Today's self, I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to have other people trust me. I won't steal a thing. I won't steal medication. I won't steal anything from Dollar Tree. I won't steal anything from Dollar General. You know what? Today, I won't go to Walmart and participate in looting. I won't do that. Self. Talk to self. Talk to that person in the mirror. If you are a person who has obnoxious behavior, say that person in the mirror every day, I won't behave obnoxiously today. I'm going to behave politely today. Are you a control freak? That self says you're a control freak. Say to that person in the mirror, I don't have to control everything. I don't have to control everybody. I don't have to control everybody's life. I don't have to tell everybody what to do with their life. I can only control my life. And I don't have to control everybody. Self. So self to control freak. So control freak, self. Bye-bye. Bully. Bully and the thief. You're a bully and the thief. I don't have to say to yourself. Say that person in the mirror. I don't have to bully anybody. In fact, I'm going to apologize to anybody who I have bullied. Raucous behavior. I'm going to calm down. You know, you have to say to yourself, look, I'm not going to act foolishly. I'm going to stop this raucous behavior. Okay? Here and there. I'm not going to act raucous behavior no more. Inappropriate verbiage. You know, so many people have this problem. So many people have this problem. They say things they shouldn't. Because before you talk about anybody's shape, look at yourself. Before you talk about anybody's hair, look at your hair. Look how bad it looks, okay? Before you talk about anybody, their shape, their car, anything about them, look at that person in the mirror. Okay? Manipulator. Are you a manipulator? Do you keep giving people the finger? Okay, you need to stop that before you get your butt killed. I'm going to tell you that. Okay, are you manipulating people? You need to stop manipulating people. You need to say self. I don't need to manipulate anybody. You need to say this every day. Say this every day. Self, I don't need to eliminate. I don't need to manipulate anybody. Rebellion. That's a hard spirit to get rid of. In fact, Jesus said, this kind goeth not out but by fasting and prayer. So maybe you need to fast to get rid of this spirit of rebellion. You don't obey your parents. You hate your parents. You don't obey doctors. You don't obey nurses. You don't obey the teachers. You don't obey anybody. Okay. Now I remember when I was younger, I helped my sister financially, and she never did say thank you. And I told my mother about that. She never did say thank you. And even to this day, she has never said thank you. Even to this day, I do not think that is a word in her vocabulary. The word thank you. It's not a word in her vocabulary at all. See, some people don't have that kind of language. It's like certain African language. There's no word for love, because that's why they marry for convenience, not love. So But anyway, it didn't bother me that she never said thank you. She hasn't said thank you to this day. But see, I vowed at that period, I was in my early 20s, I vowed that I would say thank you and please to people. So it took 5 years of me saying please and thank you to people, clerks, bankers, whoever I'm talking to say please, thank you, to lower my voice and say please and thank you. And right now it's just second nature. It's just second nature. So when you dismantle these bad persons, you can render them useless, just like this. You can render them useless. But if you want to keep the good person, you want to keep the glamour. You want to keep the watches money. Yeah, you want to keep that. Watches money, because that's a good self. You watch money. You watch every penny that you spend so you won't be broke. High intellect. That's a good thing to have. You don't want to be stupid. You don't want your children to be stupid. You can always read a good book, y'all. You want to keep these good selves. Okay, you want to keep them. Okay, you have high standards of hygiene. If that's a good self, you want to keep them. You don't want to get into the habit of not taking a shower. You don't want to get in the habit of not combing your hair. These are all good selves. When you dismantle, but you can dismantle those bad selves. You can render them powerless. You say that to yourself every day. That's why you need a mirror. You say that to yourself anyway. Every day, get rid of these, dismantle these bad selves, and you will be left with this. You will be left with only the good selves, and that would be a good thing. Now, what Naomi Judd does, which is what I read in her book, she does a lot of things, positive things to control her mental illness. Lights, cool lights in nature, taking walks, and changing nutrition. Sometimes you do need to change your nutrition. Sometimes certain foods, I remember this lady told me the pork chops make her have nightmares every time. I do think you need to change your diet sometimes. All these strange chemicals in your body, you need to eat more natural foods. So I do think that nutrition has something to do with it. But during the latter part of her book, she talks about what she's done to control this illness, and this is a good read. And I guess Winona is continuing to bully her, y'all. I guess they only speak to you as a PRN, which means as needed. But you know what? One thing I would say to Winona is that you're too old and she's too old for you to be bullying her. Stop being the linebacker that she is. Okay, the linebacker who can sing. Stop bullying your mother. She's too old for that, and you're too old for that. But it's a good read. Have a nice day.